Our story begins in 1857, deep in the frozen Arctic. A massive exploratory ship, led by Captain Anderson, finds itself in a terrible jam, trapped tight in the ice. The cause? A powerful storm that locked them in. One of the exhausted soldiers calls out to Captain Anderson asking, "What are we supposed to do?" The men are totally worn out, unable to even break the ice. They're wondering, are we going home or do we keep going? But Anderson's reply is firm. Get back to work. We accepted this mission and we have to see it through.
In the middle of the night, a massive explosion shatters the Arctic silence. A soldier alerts Anderson that the blast was 3 kilometers away. Anderson grabs a group of his men and they rush to the explosion site. The scene there is horrifying. The snow is stained with a lot of blood. And in the middle of it all, they find someone still alive but badly injured. As they get closer, they notice something strange. The man has a prosthetic leg. They decide to take him back to the ship to treat him. At that very moment, a terrifying roar echoes all around them. Anderson and his men immediately prepare to defend themselves. They have no idea what kind of creature is making that sound. Suddenly, a creature with superhuman strength approaches them. Bullets have no effect on it, and its wounds heal instantly. The creature keeps moving closer, killing anyone who stands in its way. It manages to climb onto the ship's deck and makes one demand: give me Victor. They realize Victor must be the injured man they just rescued.
One of the soldiers hits it with a powerful weapon, knocking it to the ground. Everyone thinks the creature is dead, but they're shocked when it stands up again. It starts pushing the entire ship, causing it to tilt dangerously. Anderson grabs a weapon and fires at the ice beneath the creature. The ice cracks open and the creature falls into the freezing water. A few moments later, Anderson gives Victor an herbal remedy. Victor immediately asks where the creature is and how many men it killed. Anderson tells him the creature killed 6 of his men. Victor is horrified and warns him, the creature will be back and it will kill more. Anderson tries to reassure him, saying it fell in the water and must have frozen to death. But Victor reveals the shocking truth. That creature doesn't die. I've tried to destroy it more than once, but it's no use. He then makes a strange request. When it comes back, let it take me. Anderson is baffled by Victor's words, unable to comprehend any of it. And then, Victor confesses the horrifying truth. I am the one who created it. Victor begins to tell his story to Anderson. He says his name is Victor Frankenstein, a name his father gave him, which means the key. His father was a baron and a famous surgeon. He married Victor's mother for selfish reasons, because she had a large family inheritance, which would guarantee him a respectable social standing. Victor's father was absent for most of his life, and whenever he returned home, he would fight with his wife. His mother would then go to Victor's room and hold him. Victor's father despised both Victor and his mother because they had black hair and black eyes, which he saw as a deviation from his ancestors who had colored eyes and blonde hair. Despite this, Victor's father taught him lessons in medicine. When his father asked him a question that Victor couldn't answer, he decided to punish him. Victor held out his hand to be struck, but his father hit him across the face, telling him, "You carry my name and my reputation. You must be a successful doctor, just like me." Days later, Victor was playing with his mother when she suddenly cried out in pain. She was going into labor. Victor panicked and called for his father. His father rushed in with servants, and they tended to his mother. The next thing we see, Victor's mother is dead. Victor was heartbroken, walking away from her grave, crying. Sometime later, we see Victor's father with his other son, William, who had colored eyes and blonde hair. Because of this, his father paid attention to him all the time. At that moment, Victor was certain his father had let his mother die during childbirth. When he confronted him, his father denied it, saying, "No one can defeat death." Here, Victor replied defiantly, "I will overcome death, and I will learn far more than you have in your entire life." That night, Victor was reborn. Years pass, and his father dies. Victor moves to many different cities,
studying all forms of medicine. William goes to live with relatives. Then, in 1855, a disciplinary hearing is held for Victor at the Royal College of Surgeons in England. The reason? Victor claims he can bring the dead back to life. At that moment, a man named Henrik enters the courtroom. Henrik sits and watches Victor with intense interest. Victor unveils the body of a dead man whose brain is intact and is connected to a human arm from another corpse. Then, Victor channels energy into the dead body, and the corpse moves in front of everyone. This causes a shockwave through the room, including the jury. They demand Victor stop this farce, calling him a charlatan and a sorcerer. But Victor replies defiantly, saying he will achieve his ambition elsewhere, far away from them. The result is Victor's expulsion from the college. After the hearing, Victor returns home, where he's met by Henrik, the man who was watching him. Henrik introduces himself and gives him a letter from his brother William, who is engaged to Henrik's niece, Eliza. Victor lets him into his house and learns that Henrik is an arms dealer. Victor asks if William will come to see him. Henrik says it will happen, but later, as William is very busy and achieving great success in his work. Henrik then praises Victor's demonstration at the hearing, telling him he believes in his project and is willing to fund it with a lot of money. He invites Victor to visit his home, and Victor agrees.
Days later, Victor visits Henrik. Henrik shows him a stunning piece of artwork made of wood. It's a model of the nervous system made from a human corpse. Victor is deeply impressed by the model. Henrik tells him this model will help him prove his theory. Here, Victor shares his developing idea with Henrik, the key to eternal life. Henrik is thrilled and offers open-ended funding for the project, as well as a laboratory in a huge tower he owns. Victor asks him, "What do you want in return?" Henrik says he will ask for a favor, but not right now. Just then, William and his fiancée Eliza arrive. Victor runs to greet his brother and hugs him. William then introduces him to his fiancée Eliza, Henrik's niece. During dinner, William brings up what happened at Victor's hearing. Victor defends himself and begins to explain how science can restore life to humans. Eliza laughs at his words. Victor asks her why she's laughing. At this, Henrik takes William into his office, leaving Victor and Eliza alone. Eliza continues to debate with Victor, and it's clear she isn't convinced by his ideas. She even tells him that only fools believe in such things. Victor is stunned by her words, but stays silent and doesn't respond. Later, Victor goes with William and Henrik to see the tower that will become his laboratory. Even though the tower is abandoned, the moment Victor sees it, he is captivated. He feels this is the place where he will achieve his dreams. Henrik tells him, "Anything you ask for will be provided." Victor is overjoyed and starts requesting various other essential pieces of equipment to begin his work. He also enlists his brother William to help him build the lab. Henrik then approaches Victor and shakes his hand, sealing the deal between them. We next see Victor at a public execution, choosing which of the condemned men's bodies he will take after death. Later, Victor sees Eliza on the street. His curiosity gets the best of him, and he follows her until she enters a church. He decides to enter a confessional booth, pretending to be the priest. Eliza confesses that she feels hatred towards her fiancé's brother, meaning Victor. Victor is annoyed, but reveals himself to her. He decides to invite her to lunch at a restaurant to get closer to her. Victor asks her about the books she bought. She asks him to guess the genre, and he guesses they must be romance novels. But Eliza surprises him, revealing they are books about insects. She tells him she is also interested in science. At that, Victor asks her to dance, and she agrees. Next, we see Victor overseeing the lab setup with William, giving him specific instructions to follow before he leaves. Days later, Victor is shown spending time with Eliza, catching a butterfly together. It's clear that Victor is developing feelings for his brother's fiancée. The next day, he returns to the fully completed lab. He tries to reanimate a dead body by inserting several needles into the spinal cord, but his attempt fails. That night,
Victor enjoys Eliza's piano playing at a party. When the party ends, Henrik tells him he is waiting for the results of his experiments and warns him not to get distracted by Eliza and forget his work. The following day, Victor is in his lab and is surprised when Eliza comes to visit, bringing the butterfly they caught together. She notices the progress Victor has made in his work. Victor seizes the opportunity and tells her he wants to confess something important. He asks if she has felt the connection between them, but Eliza pushes him away and changes the subject. She then says goodbye and leaves the lab. Victor keeps thinking, trying to find a way to make his experiment work. Suddenly, he decides to change the position of the needles in the corpse. Victor is shocked when the corpse responds and moves. He quickly removes the needles and disconnects the batteries. Days later, we see Victor on a battlefield, choosing parts from the corpses that he can use to create the being he will grant life to. He begins to carefully collect parts from the bodies in front of him. After days of work, he succeeds in creating a perfect specimen. Its body is well proportioned and its limbs are long. Victor plans to reanimate this being using electricity. He charges the nervous system to generate the energy needed to restart the heart and brain. Once everything is ready, he places the power source near the heart. Just then, Victor learns a storm is approaching, and he realizes this is the moment he's been waiting for. Victor's idea relies on drawing power from the lightning strikes during the storm, as it will provide the body with a massive amount of energy. Victor goes to tell Henrik, but notices something strange about Henrik's behavior. He discovers that Henrik is sick, his health deteriorating day by day, and his death is only a matter of time. Henrik then confesses the truth to Victor. He wants his brain to live on in the creature Victor is making. When Victor hears this, he refuses, of course, and goes to install the lightning rods. But Henrik follows him, grabs one of the rods, and threatens to throw him from the tower, trying to force him to agree to the procedure. Victor tries to stop him, and they fight. In the middle of the struggle, Henrik falls from the great height and dies. Victor rushes down to check on him and is horrified to find Henrik's brain completely destroyed. Victor leaves him and goes back to complete his experiment. Finally, lightning strikes the creature, electrocuting it. But things don't go as Victor planned. He approaches the creature he built and notices its heart hasn't started. There's no pulse. He feels defeated and decides to rest for a bit. But then, Victor is stunned to see the creature standing right in front of him. Victor is terrified. He approaches the creature slowly and cautiously. He eventually feels assured that the creature isn't a danger to him. Not only that, it mimics all his movements. Victor introduces himself and makes the creature say his name. Afterward, Victor takes it to a secret place in the tower and chains it up, and begins to tend to the parts of its body that haven't fully healed together. He then discovers that the creature's wounds heal incredibly fast. At that moment, William arrives with his fiancée, Eliza. Victor quickly goes to greet them. The moment Eliza sees him, she asks about her uncle, Henrik. Victor evades the question, telling her Henrik hasn't been by in a while. He takes William to show him his accomplishments. William hands him a letter from the medical tribunal, telling him it was sent to his house. Meanwhile, Eliza hears the creature's voice. She approaches it and is shocked by its strange and terrifying appearance. She goes to confront Victor, asking him about the nature of this being. Victor takes them and explains that he created it, saying he chained it up for its own safety. William asks about its intelligence. Victor tells him it's a stupid creature that doesn't understand anything. But it's clear Eliza has a different opinion. That night, Eliza returns to visit the creature. She gets close and tells it her name. She keeps trying until she finally teaches it to say her name. The creature gives her a leaf it was holding. Eliza is overjoyed and thanks it. She says goodbye and heads back to her room. But Victor stops her and warns her never to go near it again. Eliza yells at him, accusing him of being a monster, not a human. She tells him he's treating the creature like an animal, even though it's a gentle and peaceful being. Victor is angered by her words. He goes to the creature and demands it say any word other than his name. But the creature can't utter any other word. Victor grabs a stick and beats it. The next day, William discovers Henrik's body, which Victor had hidden. Victor lies to him, making him believe the creature was the one who killed him. He tells William to take Eliza and leave until he can dispose of Henrik's body. William obeys and leaves with Eliza. At that point, Victor douses the entire tower in gasoline, including the spot where the creature is chained. Victor tells it, "If you say any word other than my name, I'll let you live." Victor is shocked when the creature says, "Eliza." He flies into a rage and sets the entire tower on fire. When he gets outside the tower, he's horrified by what he's done and changes his mind. He tries to go back in and save it, but as soon as he opens the door, an explosion throws Victor backward. He hits a rock and his leg is severed from his body. In that moment, Eliza suspects Victor is going to get rid of the creature because she sensed he was jealous of the attention she gave it. She demands William turn back or she'll jump from the moving carriage. William is forced to obey. As soon as they arrive at the tower, they are stunned to see it has exploded and is completely destroyed. We return to the present. Victor and Anderson hear a commotion outside the room. Anderson opens the door to see what's happening and freezes when he sees the creature right in front of him. The creature grabs him tightly by the neck, but Victor yells at the creature, telling it to let him go, and says it can take him instead. Anderson tells the creature that Victor told him his story, but the creature replies, "Now it's my turn to tell you my story." We flash back to the time of the fire. The creature keeps calling out for Victor, but it's no use. It frees itself from the chains and escapes through a drainage opening, falling into the water. When it wakes up, it finds itself far from the tower. It starts walking aimlessly until it stumbles upon the body of a warrior, taking its clothes and putting them on. A short time later, it sees some deer. It approaches one and feeds it plants, but two hunters appear and shoot at the creature. They are confused, unsure if it's a monster or a human. The creature is forced to flee, wounded, but it's amazed to see its wound heal quickly. It keeps walking until it reaches a farm and hides in the barn. From there, it watches the farm's owners. It overhears an old blind man teaching his granddaughter to read. It continues to watch them, learning from them. At night, it begins to help the family in secret. They are amazed when they wake up the next day to find firewood stacked in front of their house. The following day, they are delighted to find it has built a large wooden fence around their sheep. The old man tells them the spirit of the forest is helping them. One day, a pack of wolves attacks the farm. The farm owners fire at them, making them run away, and decide to go after them to chase them out of the area. The old man refuses to go with them and stays behind alone. The creature thinks hard about how to introduce itself to the old man. Finally, it makes its decision, enters the house, and reveals itself. The old man treats him kindly. This is the one thing the creature has missed most in its life, something it never got from Victor. The creature stays with the old man for a long time. Over time, the old man teaches the creature to read and has it read many books so it can learn to speak well. One day, as they're talking, the old man asks if it remembers anything about its past. The creature says it only remembers fire, fear, extreme cold, and one word that echoes in its mind, Victor. The old man advises it to go find Victor. It does just that, returning to the ruins of the tower. There, it finds the letter that was sent to Victor, which has his address on it. It also finds notes that reveal its true nature. It is, of course, horrified to learn that Victor created it and that it is not like other humans. It returns to the old man to tell him, but when it arrives, it discovers the wolves have broken in and attacked the old man. The creature attacks the wolves and finishes them all. It then finds the old man dying. It tells him how sad it is to have discovered the truth, that it's just parts from dead bodies. But the old man tells him, "You are no different from any human," and tells him he was a loyal friend. And then he dies. At that moment, the old man's family arrives. When they see the creature next to the body,
They assume it killed him. They shoot at it, hitting it in the eye. But the creature escapes, refusing to harm them. They chase it, shooting at it several more times, and leave it, thinking it's dead.
Days later, the creature wakes up, its wounds having healed on their own. It now has only one goal: to find Victor, no matter what. That night, William enters Victor's room and tells him to get ready to attend his wedding to Eliza. Victor gets up and goes to Eliza's room to congratulate her, but Eliza gets angry and hits him. She tells him to stop playing the part of a good person and throws him out. Victor returns to his room, furious at what happened, but he's met with a surprise. The creature is waiting for him. Victor asks if it came to thank him for giving it life. The creature replies that it only wants one thing. It demands Victor create a female of its kind so it can live its life with her. But Victor refuses, saying, "I will not create another monster." The creature becomes so enraged, it grabs him and throws him to the floor. Eliza hears the noise and runs to see what's happening. When she sees the creature, she approaches it and hugs it. But Victor grabs a gun and fires at the creature. Unfortunately, the bullet hits Eliza. She dies in his arms. At this, the creature snaps, attacking everyone who appears, including William. It insists on taking Eliza's body and leaving. Victor runs to check on his brother and discovers his injury is fatal. He promises to save him, but William confesses that he was always afraid of him, afraid of his ambition and his desire to control life. Before he dies, he describes Victor as a monster. From that moment, Victor decides to hunt the creature wherever it goes, until one day, he's startled to see the creature approaching his tent. Victor shoots at it, but the creature grabs him and drags him outside. The creature holds out a stick of dynamite and tells Victor to light it. It tells him that if it doesn't die, it will come back to finish him. Victor runs as fast as he can before the dynamite explodes. The explosion engulfs the area, and Victor is thrown far by the blast. The creature, however, survives, its wounds healing quickly. We return to the present time on the ship. Victor is dying from his injuries. He grabs the creature's hand and apologizes for every bad thing he ever did to it. He asks it to forgive him, and the creature chooses to forgive him. When Victor dies, the creature leans down and kisses his head. Anderson can't believe what he's seeing. It's clear he feels sympathy for the creature. Because of this, he stands in front of his soldiers, stopping them from attacking it, and allows it to leave the ship in peace. Then the creature pushes the ship, freeing it from the ice. They all cheer, as it saved them months of hard labor. Anderson informs them that they will not continue their journey. They are going home. As for the creature, it continues on its way, deciding to live far away from humans. And the film ends.